Trent announced that he was going to end both her and Savannah and opened fire. Fortunately, he missed the mark, giving Shirley the opportunity to escape to a neighbor's house and call for help.
You dumbass! What the how are you gonna do that shit and miss? You fucking stormtrooper! What the dude? We got another video from Chilling Scares. YouTubers that became murderers. Remember to check out Chilling Scares? Let's get into it.
At 118 was a YouTube
Oh my god, my eyes. Oh my god.
From New Jersey. He'd been active on YouTube since 2021 and mainly streamed himself playing sports games.
Oh, he's got a bum ass camera angle going on.
On September 30, 2025, he went live with another one of these streams. And for someone stumbling onto this live broadcast, nothing about it felt odd. That is, until they started watching and noticed his chat asking him odd questions like, are you going to jail? And how are you going to get paid in jail? Things became even more strange when some of his viewers started calling him a killer over and over again. However, this label
how the hell did this chat figure it out already? What?
Wasn't an exaggeration. As it turned out, Vincent was hosting this stream less than a day after allegedly ending the lives of 2 teenage girls in a neighboring town.
What?
And he didn't seem the least bit remorseful. The incident happened on September 29th, just before 5:30 p.m. 17-year-old Maria Neotis and Isabella Salas were riding e-bikes in a residential neighborhood in Cranford, New Jersey, when they were suddenly hit by a speeding car seemingly out of nowhere. The crash was loud enough to get the attention of nearby residents. People rushed to help. Unfortunately, it was already too late.
Describe what those calls to police sounded like moments after Maria Neotis and Isabella Salas were mowed down by a black SUV driven by another teenager.
There's a girl on the road and there's a car. Oh my God, please hurry.
So there's 2 females?
By the time first responders arrived at the scene, both girls had already passed away. But what made the incident even more disturbing was just how shockingly violent it was. Later investigation revealed the car was going close to 70 miles per hour,
Jesus.
or over 110 kilometers an hour, in a neighborhood with a speed limit of just 25 miles per hour, or roughly 40 kilometers per hour.
You guys ever see that person? I know it's a little serious. You ever see that person on TikTok, whenever you catch someone speeding, he throws like something at their car, like it could be like a pie or something? We need that guy out here right now.
Hour. The resulting collision sent the girls flying across the street, with one victim coming to rest approximately 100 feet from the impact site.
What do you mean you're going 75 and a 20?
According to eyewitness reports, the driver tried to drive away immediately after the incident, but the crash was so violent that the impact had lodged one of the e-bikes into the car, forcing the driver to ditch it and flee on foot. Fortunately, this allowed investigators to run the license plate and trace the car back to its driver, 17-year-old Vincent Badaloro. Vincent was called in for questioning. It's unclear what exactly he told the police, but since the investigators didn't have any solid evidence of his personal involvement, he was let go the same night. The investigators were also treating this as an accident by this point, so they had no ground to detain Vincent just yet. However, this changed completely when one of the victims' families learned about Vincent's potential involvement. According to Maria's family, Vincent had been stalking and harassing her for months by that point. They went to the same school, and Vincent was reported to have tormented her during multiple different instances. The two had never gotten along. Vincent would also allegedly follow Maria around.
Lock this motherfucker up. What are we talking about? What?
Staking out her house in his car on multiple occasions.
What a freak!
This behavior only worsened after Maria reported him to the school authorities.
Dude, I can't stop coughing.
The incident, with him becoming even more aggressive and making false police reports, even leading to her family getting swatted multiple times. In one of his streams,
my
he
throat's all
mentioned having
scratchy right now.
vengeance against Maria, and even dedicated one of his old phones to harassing her, starting with ordering a pizza to her address.
Here's what we're gonna do. I think Maria's hungry. I think we're gonna.
How would you know Maria's hungry? Did she tell you that?
Send her a pizza. Cheer her up. So, y'all know I have a vengeance against this girl. I'm gonna call a pizza to her house, and here's how I'm gonna do it.
Investigation also revealed that Vincent's own parents had called the police 4 times regarding his increasingly violent and out-of-control behavior over the last few months. He was becoming more erratic, and combined with Maria getting him in trouble at school, was likely harboring deep resentment towards her. Put simply, there was a strong chance that what happened wasn't an accident. He possibly wanted to take his anger out on Maria,
That's
and
true.
Isabel was just collateral in his messed up plan.
They know someone's
Now,
plan.
while the
Parents.
investigators were piecing all
I mean,
this
they don't
together,
have
Vincent decided
like
to
that
go
much
live on YouTube
evidence
and pretend like everything was completely normal. However, people in his community had learned about his possible involvement in the case by this point, resulting in the chat messages we mentioned earlier. He tried to dismiss these messages as just hate comments and drama, but eventually decided to address the situation in the vaguest terms possible.
In a neighboring town, unfortunately, 2 girls were killed in a hit-and-run crash. Now, there has been a lot of misinformation going on over the internet. It is an absolute unfortunate situation, and there's more to the story that you're not getting. But when the time comes, I will explain it in greater detail.
When you say it like that, it just makes it obvious it's you. Like that last part he said. When it comes out in greater detail, I will tell more, or whatever he said. It when it comes out more, I will tell in greater detail. Why do you know the greater detail? Because it came out, or is it because you already knew?
He was likely speaking this way.
Obviously, he did it. I'm just saying, like, for people, like,
however, this
because he's not in jail,
still help
obviously. So
investigators bring him to justice. You see, while he was live on YouTube, investigators
I had nothing to do till morning when I can. Yeah, exactly.
This led to the discovery of ring camera footage from a nearby street, showing him speeding in the neighborhood before the incident and then walking back on foot minutes after everything went down. This, combined with eyewitness testimonies, allowed investigators to arrest him a day later on October 1st and charge him with 2 counts of first-degree murder. His channel has since been terminated by YouTube. Prosecutors are also pushing to have Vincent tried as an adult to secure the full sentence they believe he deserves.
I'm recording
walk that
this
bitch up.
because I want my daughter to know
No, fuck that shit.
that I love you, Mackenzie Pascal. I'm so sorry that I've done this. I want you to know that you mean everything to me.
This was the final video 48-year-old Trent Pascal
What?
uploaded to YouTube on October 21st, 2020. His content up until that point was a mix of family vlogs, DIY tips, and RC toy reviews. He came across as a laid-back, middle-aged dad enjoying time with his family, but the video he uploaded in October 2020 was different. It wasn't a wholesome vlog or toy review with his kids. Instead, this was a confession Trent posted to YouTube after committing a heartless crime just so he could paint himself as the victim. The day started off rough with Trent having a massive argument with his wife, Savannah. Details of what exactly caused this argument are unknown, but according to some reports, it had something to do with Trent's overprotective and envious personality. He was reportedly very insecure about the 18-year age gap between him and Savannah. He saw anyone even remotely close to her as a threat and tried to control every aspect of her life, which also led to many clashes between the two over the years. Regardless of the reason, the argument on October 21st ended with Savannah dropping their 2 kids at school and then driving over to live at their mother Shirley's house in Lamarck, Texas. Neighbors also saw Trent storming out not long after. Savannah and Shirley went out to check on the kids at school later that day before returning home at around noon. Shirley went straight to the master bedroom to freshen up, but nothing could have prepared her for what was waiting for her inside.
Did he fucking kill her? Whoa.
The moment she stepped into the bathroom, Trent leaped out from behind the shower curtain with a firearm in his hand, and
what the fuck? Why?
Before she could even register what was going on, Trent announced that he was going to end both her and Savannah and opened fire. Fortunately, he missed the mark, giving Shirley the opportunity to escape to a neighbor's house and call for help.
You dumbass! What the how are you gonna do that shit and miss? You fucking stormtrooper! What the dude?
Sadly, Savannah wasn't as lucky. Trent managed to shoot her twice in the stomach before fleeing the scene. She was rushed to the hospital, but passed away shortly after. Though, while Savannah was fighting for her life, Trent uploaded this video to his now deleted second channel, explaining his reasoning for the heinous crime.
No, fuck your reasoning, bro. What are you talking about? There's no reasoning to shoot somebody. What are we...
He accused Savannah of cheating on him and claimed that she was the
So that means kill her.
One who made him do this.
No, she didn't, you dumb fuck.
However, to most people who came across this video, it was clear that Trent posted the video so he could portray himself as the
Your girl cheats on you and your first thing's I'm gonna shoot her. That is not a reason.
victim. He even seems to try a fake crime multiple times during the video. but
Nice
fails
tears,
to
buddy.
shed a single
Nice
tear.
tears, buddy.
And he also assumed the cheating accusation was likely false, but even if it wasn't, it was still no justification for taking her life. That said, the most disturbing part of this video was the very end, which showed Trent hearing a noise and immediately rushing to hide in a dark room. Closely listening to this section revealed a plastic rustling noise, similar to what shower curtains sound like when moved. In other words, Trent was possibly recording this final message in Shirley's home moments before they arrived, and then quickly ran to the bathroom when he heard the two pull into the driveway. He fled Lamarck immediately after committing the crime, prompting a statewide manhunt. This ended with the police tracking him down to a Walmart parking lot in Houston later the same day. However, Trent drew his firearm on the officers and refused to back down despite repeated warnings. This
Whoa.
left deputies with no choice but to open fire, hitting him several times across the abdomen. He was then taken to a hospital where he spent over a month recovering from his wounds. He was eventually booked into the
Oh, he
Galveston
lived?
County Jail on charges of murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm. Now, this is usually where stories like this end, but that's not what happened with Trent. Despite the deeply violent nature of his crimes, he was allowed to leave on bail after paying $550,000.
God.
He was fitted with a GPS ankle monitor and ordered to stay at his mother's house until his conviction. Trent initially complied with these orders, but on April 13th, 2021, he removed his ankle monitor, stole a car at knife point after taking it on a test drive
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
from a dealership, and vanished without a trace. This triggered
Why do we even give him bail? Oh my
a
god.
massive multi-state manhunt. The police spent months looking for
Bro
Trent,
is
but he was still nowhere to be
insane.
found. This also left Savannah's family in a constant state of fear, as Trent could
Yeah,
show
why
up
was
at
he
any
allowed
time to
bail?
cause further harm. The run finally ended nearly 9 months later in January 2022.
You
when the
you
US
killed
Marshals
somebody.
received a tip
I
that
feel like
a
you
man
should not.
matching Trent's
If you kill
description
somebody, you should not be allowed bail.
was staying at a small RV park in Ocala, Florida. Officers rushed to the scene and surrounded a van where they believed he was hiding. But before they could break in and apprehend Trent, he decided to end everything on his own, robbing Savannah's family of seeing any justice through the legal system. Lane Maurice Davis joined YouTube all the way back in September 2009 under the name Seattle for Truth. Most of his videos have since been deleted by YouTube for policy violations, but they were mainly about right-wing political commentary and rants about current events. Some of these videos also revolved around Lane trying to prove various conspiracy theories. Lane also did an internship under British far-right commentator Milo Yiannopoulos at one point, though it didn't last very long. So
I don't
his
know who that
YouTube
is.
channel was the only thing Lane focused on for most of his adult life. But while he did have a sizable following across socials, most of his videos didn't attract enough viewers to provide a sustainable income. This forced Lane to live with his parents and rely on them for monetary needs, which apparently was a major source of tension in their relationship. His parents also had differing political views from their son, leading to frequent arguments, especially with his father Charles. And the back and forth on the night of July 14, 2017 started off as no different. As the argument became more heated, his mother, Catherine, dialed 911 and calmly asked for assistance, stating, "He's not physically threatening us or anything, he just gets out of control and he's ranting about stuff from the internet. He's not working and he just gets on these rampages and he just needs to move on. He just lives on the internet and he gets really worked up about everything that's going on. He needs an intervention of some kind here." The dispatcher instructed Catherine and Charles to keep their distance until the police arrived, but she downplayed the threat, saying she'd seen many similar outbursts in the past and that he wouldn't turn violent. Unfortunately, she couldn't have been more wrong, because just a few minutes later, Catherine dialed 911 again, and this time in a far more frantic state, screaming phrases like, "He stabbed him." and
What's TJ
repeating,
was here so I
"He's
can
dead,"
ask him? I can't
over and
tell.
over again.
No, it's upstairs. Someone was like stomping around. I thought it was someone banging on my door at the front door. Really loud.
Officers were already on their way from the first call Catherine made and reached the house within minutes. Inside, they found Charles lying on the floor with his clothes covered in blood. According to reports, Lane became even more aggressive after the first 911 call and stabbed his father multiple times with a kitchen knife.
What
By
the
the time police arrived, Charles had already passed away. Lane likely regretted his decision immediately, as officers saw him standing outside the front door with his hands in the air, waiting to be arrested. He later pleaded guilty to second-degree murder as part of a plea deal and was sentenced to 17 years in prison. His YouTube channel now sits completely abandoned.
How do we feel about people killing someone and then getting 17 years or like 10 years? I feel like it's not. I want to see what chat says. We already agreed. No, there shouldn't be bail. You should be able to get on bail if you kill somebody. I think it would take a life, you deserve a life in prison. That's what I think. I think you should keep your ass in prison. I don't think you should get 17 years. Why? So they can do the same thing again? Keep their dirty, crusty ass in jail.
In many of these cases, the transition from content creator to criminal is marked by a clear, calculated decision. But with Jessica Worsham, known online as the Indigo Mystic on YouTube, the path was much more blurred, with her channel serving as a digital diary for a woman who was visibly losing
back on the internet and lose mine again? I mean, yeah.
Her grip on reality. Jessica started her channel in 2013 to post occasional videos on whatever topics grabbed her interest that day. Her content was relatively harmless, with nothing too attention-grabbing, at least at first. As her personal life began to fracture, the tone shifted dramatically. It started with her getting divorced from
You
her
only get
husband.
bail when you get first arrested of evidence and say you have no criminal history. Yeah, but the issue is someone, they had full evidence and everything and still got bail.
Unclear what the reason for this divorce was. Possibly
I know it's
something
why
to
you
do
get
with
bail,
her
but I don't think you
deteriorating
should get
mental
bail.
state. Regardless
if you kill
of the
somebody.
reason, though, it left her in charge of her 2 daughters. However, she didn't have any place to stay at the time. So, one of her friends allowed her to stay at one of their properties for free until they found a buyer for it. They were likely expecting to sell the home in a few months, but the process ended up taking 3 long years. And when it was finally time to hand over the keys, Jessica intervened. Instead of being grateful for being able to stay there for 3
Where's Junior? I
years
need a
for
warrior.
free, she refused to leave and even took her friend to
We need a
court
warrior.
over it. She understandably lost in court and was forced to move out. This upended the life she'd built over the last 3 years and marked the beginning of her downfall. The stress of losing her home, combined with her pre-existing mental conditions, proved disastrous. She refused to accept the reality and became delusional.
No, I get
thinking
that.
the
What if someone
judges
gets
were
blamed?
part of some evil
If they have
group
full
alongside
evidence-
her family members and were out to get her and her daughters.
And everything, and they take the right person to jail.
I would like.
Like, if they take the right person to jail and they have full evidence to that person, they should not get bail at all. They had evidence of someone earlier and they got bail still. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if someone gets accused of it and they actually aren't guilty, then yeah, it's fine. Like, they should get bail and all that if they're not actually the guilty one. But like with the case earlier, guy was fully guilty and everything, and he got bail.
To mention is Alan Garrett. He is my uncle, and he has been working with my other family members, a one Angie Griffith. She lives in Danielsville, and also a Denise Cantrell, who is my maternal parent, and my sister Crystal Christian. Okay, they've all been working in league with a judge, a magistrate judge that works at the Jackson County Courthouse named Benjamin Green.
Depending how long that is, and
He's been
if someone
doing
sends it to me, I'll watch it.
type things that he's not supposed to be doing, and Alan Berryman and those mentioned afterwards have been in league with this particular judge individual, and to steal my home from me.
Jessica began posting videos ranting about these made-up conspiracies, like how the government was trying to depopulate the world with the COVID vaccines. She was clearly losing her grip on reality, even posting videos directly addressing the judge she believed had wronged her in the past.
Anyway,
Like I said, I'll watch things that are allowed to be on Twitch and be posted on
I know you're
YouTube.
watching me, and I know you're scared, and you should be.
17 minutes.
Dingledorf, he's too scared. He's too scared to even try to communicate with me telepathically, but you're scared, aren't you, Benji? Ben. Good old Benji. You used to be a good person, didn't you, Benji? You did. You used to actually have
Yeah, we'll watch this next
desire
time.
for justice. And a desire to do good by people. What happened? What happened? Did you let the greed of the world get to you? Did you let that secret society that you're a part of talk you into all this stuff?
What is with this
However,
bitch?
this was only the beginning. The situation truly began
She shouldn't. What was I about to say? Yeah, she lost her home and everything, and she went insane. She lost her mind from all that. I mean, no, I can't even like defend it. I'm like, yeah, you lost my mind. No, just not defending it.
And to unravel when her ex.
Gonna be the YouTube guidelines. Well, things have been uploaded to YouTube that cannot be on YouTube, and they were there for a long time. So guidelines don't even matter.
Custody of their two
Unless they do now.
Mid-2021.
Back then they didn't.
Jessica didn't have a solid roof over her head and wasn't sending the two girls to school either. Her behavior online was also becoming more and more erratic with each passing day. In addition to her rambling about topics that made little sense, she also posted videos waving around the firearm she had, threatening anyone who wanted to
boy,
get
who give her a
way.
gun?
Put simply, she was becoming dangerous to her own children. Her ex-husband filed for temporary custody until Jessica found proper residence and got professional help for her degrading mental state. But in her delusions, Jessica saw this as yet another attack on her from the same group that took away her home.
Today is a rather
Ask her about pigeons.
unfortunate
What do you think about
day, to be
pigeons?
honest with you. I'm actually going to court today against some people that are trying to take my children from me. The same people that took my home from me. The Jackson County court system.
She still could have had a chance to stay with her daughters, but on the day of the hearing, she refused to enter the courthouse, further highlighting her unstable mental state to the judge. The custody was awarded to her ex-husband until Jessica was deemed capable of resuming responsibility. This was a chance for her to actually work on improving her situation, but Jessica didn't see it that way. Sadly, she was already too far gone and decided to go on the run with her daughters instead.
Oh
she
my
stayed
God.
on the move for the next couple of months, moving from place to place, all while posting increasingly unhinged monologues on YouTube.
Mine, M-I-N-E, mine. They're my babies. And I love them above anything else. I love them like I love God. And I'll do anything, including lay my life down for them. And I know that's what you wish for.
Jessica also felt.
I mean, to be fair, when it comes down to it, a parent will do whatever they need for the kid. Which is like where she's at, but she's not doing it lay at all.
Record and post to YouTube almost everything that happened in her life. She'd gone as far as to instruct her daughters to start recording whenever anything notable happened. What she didn't know was that one of these recordings would end up scarring them for life. The incident happened on November 5th, 2021, with Jessica getting into an argument with the owners of the house she was living in. The dispute escalated to the point where the owners asked her to leave the house, and when she refused, they contacted the police to have her removed. However, as soon as the officers pulled into the driveway, Jessica opened the front door with her firearm in her hand and opened fire. One of the shots hit 43-year-old Sheriff's Deputy Lena Marshall, sending her to the hospital where she tragically passed away.
Oh,
just a
she
few days
fucking
later.
died?
The other officers opened fire in retaliation, hitting Jessica multiple times, all while her daughters heard and recorded everything inside the house.
What a crazy
Jessica
bitch.
passed away on the spot, with her younger daughter posting the final video on YouTube with the heartbreaking title, "My mom is dead, I think." As
Oh, fuck, dude, that's traumatizing for a kid.
recording
It
and
doesn't matter how fucked up your parent is, that's traumatizing.
uploading to the internet was what Jessica had taught them to do.
Yeah, that's traumatizing for a kid, dude. Oh, so this thumbnail, what the fuck? Yeah, that's fucked. The mom was not in the right at all, and she was not in the right state of mind. Like I said, a parent would do whatever they need to protect their own kid. She was out of her mind. That's the issue about one.